everybody, it's the Review Revolution, back at you again with this week's Double Feature Friday. Yes, it's something where another Friday's here, which means that we're right at the beginning of a new weekend. Enjoy it, guys. We're getting in December, you know, full swings coming up. Put on some Christmas tunes and you know, enjoy yourselves. Last week, I got a chance to do the gift pack for the Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley, kind of the Deathly Hallows box, even though it wasn't specifically Deathly Hallows. It was very much for the movie, I'm sure. And while I was at Toys R Us, because I haven't stopped getting emails from them, I found a very picked-over Harry Potter end cap. And among all the coffee cups and plush animals, I managed to find a Severus Snape by Neca. Or, I guess you could call it Alec Rickman in a box. Much like the 3-pack, you know, not much in the way of write-ups, you know, not much of a background about the character or the story of Harry Potter. I'm guessing I guess they figure if you don't know what it is by now, they can't help you. The other figures, I guess, that are in the set, in Series 1 it says, is the Harry Potter, with the blue shirt and the backpack. Different kind of glasses, so I'm not sure if this is a Harry that's coming in on a single card, or if this is the one that comes in the box, but again, it's very much like the one that you know, you get with the gift pack. There is the Snape, which I believe this is a re-release of an earlier version of him, but you know, the characters look the same pretty consistently, so you know, it still fits. And then finally, Fenrir Greyback, the werewolf, who they didn't have, and I'm certainly going to keep my eyes open because he looks like he'd be a pretty cool figure. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for Fenrir Greyback, and I'll do a video on him if I ever find him. But again, not much in the way of write-up, just, you know, what seems to be kind of some basic packaging. We'll go ahead and take a moment and pop Severus out of the pack and have some fun. So be right back. All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We've got Snape out of his pack, and you know, I gotta say, despite being kind of an old-school NECA design, this is actually a really cool figure. I am so glad I picked him up. He is really awesome. First off, you know, not since the Josh Brolin, and of course, you know, this figure came out first, but for me personally, not since the Josh Brolin's Hex, you know, did I really see a NECA figure that really captured the actor as well as this does. I mean, that really is a great Alan Rickman face. That looks terrific. I mean, it's something where, you know, the costume, yeah, it's a really, you know, appropriate Snape costume. You know, almost kind of a old Victorian style jacket with the shoes and the pants. Got the buttoned sleeves and the cuffs, the high collar. You know, the whole costume is very appropriate, but for how well they did the head on Snape here, the way they really kind of brought out Alan Rickman's appearance, that is just fantastic. That just sells this figure so well. The paint on him, not really much to say. I mean, it's something where there's not really a whole lot of highlights. You know, not much in the way of paint application. You know, you can kind of see, you know, there's a little extra paint on his hands to give a little more depth. Same thing here. A little bit of highlight in the hair, not much. There's a little bit of a drop of glue maybe there. The weakest part of it is that, and it's not quite as bad on camera as it is in person, but I think they did kind of give him a little too much kind of pinkish color in his cheeks. You know, if the face had been more pale, you know, completely, I think that would have been fine. Instead, they kind of gave him these lines under his eyes and made his cheeks a little bit too pink. It doesn't completely ruin the character or, you know, ruin the figure, but it does seem to be a little out of place. It looks as though that it doesn't quite belong there. But that's nitpicking because, again, overall, looks fantastic. Looks great. Now, I did say that this was a kind of old school Neca design, and by that I mean that his head does turn, and there is some, articulation like a ball joint, and whether it's an actual ball joint inside the collar or if he's just loose on the peg, I don't know. But being that he's got that high collar, it's not coming out. It's pretty secure. So I want to say it's a ball jointed head. If only the rest of the articulation was that good. On this shoulder, there is actually a hinge and a twist. So kudos to Neca for that. But on the elbow, the shoulder has it. The elbow, on the other hand, the twist on there, it goes back to the idea that articulation and sculpting can't work together. And when I think back on it, yeah, if this was the articulation you put in, if this is the way the pivot would work, then I completely agree, because you can see there's no forgiveness as far as moving the arm even slightly out of a line. It just doesn't look natural on the figure, and it doesn't look correct as far as the sculpting. Same thing here on this shoulder. Again, it has a twist, but it's something where the way the figure is sculpted, as soon as you twist it, it falls out of line, and again, doesn't look natural for the character. He has an hinge at his elbow, which is good. Actually comes a little too far down, but again, it's not bad. It's okay. Both his hands have a twist. And I'm going to take him off his base here. He needs his base if he doesn't have his robes on, because he doesn't stand real well without it. But his top torso does have kind of a pivot. Nothing in the legs, except for the twist of the waist. Nothing in the feet. So, again, pretty bland articulation. The jacket he has, it has very, hard plastic here. You can twist it and his leg can come, through the opening on it, but, there's really no give on this plastic right here. It's not really a soft plastic. Now, his robes are, in fact, much softer. Not quite like you would get from like a DC character. More like maybe a Toy Biz Marvel Legend kind of plastic. A little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, but still very nicely done. And for as nicely sculpted as the inside jacket is on the character, once you put his robes on, it really all comes together. The way the arm is sculpted with the one here, the one stretched out here, and the fact that the sculpt on his cloak, the way it kind of billows and flows, you don't really feel like you're sacrificing the inside jacket for some kind of generic cape. It still looks really nice. One thing I noticed, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, is that when you set him down, he is mainly propped up and held in place by his robes. His feet are actually hovering above the surface. So the figure actually turns out a little bit larger, a little bit taller, while he's wearing his robes. Now, whether that was by design or if it just turned out that way, I don't know. But it does make him look very impressive. He looks really, really nice. Snape, of course, does also come with a wand. Little sculpting there on the handle. It's a little tough to get in his hand, kind of like Harry was. So I won't force it too bad because I am a little afraid he'll break. But a really great figure, something that I would say that if you're a Harry Potter fan, or if you're just, a fan of NECA products, The Severus Snape came out looking beautifully. Very, very nice. Highly recommend it. You know, with the new movie coming out, and with what I believe to be Neca's, you know, re-releasing some of these figures, I'd say take a look, see if you can track them down. Very nice. Certainly thank everybody for watching. Have a great weekend. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. Bye-bye.